I mean, they say, if you a gangster, right, chances are that you might not live that long, you know? You might not live to be 22 or 23. My point of view is like this. If you never come up and it's time to go, you got to ride that out. Please believe that, playboy. No.
You ain't gotta be no gangster. You ain't gotta be no gangster. You ain't gotta be no gangster to die. You ain't gotta be no gangster. You ain't gotta be no gangster. You ain't gotta be no gangster to die. But you ain't gotta be no gangster, cause you still gon' die. You don't die young just because you ride young. But you ain't gotta be no gangster, cause you still gon' die. Player, preacher, president, you die. As we approach the last stage of this millennium, I search for the marker. But as the world turns, all I see is hatred and sorrow. I try to neutralize my thinking with heavy drinking, but ain't no escaping this yellow tape situation I'm facing. It's called death. And no matter how you live, you gotta face it. Predestined, so no matter what you do, you can't erase it. Accept it, cause you can't help it. You can't miss it. You dying whether you like it or not. The head issue, the head picture is that we all gonna be deducted, abducted by the angel of death to face judgment. No hesitation, you got to die, and that's a known fact. But while you here, you catch the blues because you born black. You don't die young just because you ride young. Gangster, preacher, president, you die when your time come. It's unpredictable unless you take yourself above this planet. Some people just don't understand it, so they say. But you ain't gotta be no gangster, cause you still gon' die. You don't die young just because you ride young. But you ain't gotta be no gangster, cause you still gon' die. Player, preacher, president, you die. Now your time, something years of being exposed to more souls and blows. Then they got hoes up in Angola. I chose to close up. My eyes don't see no evil, my ears don't hear no evil, my lips don't speak no evil. But I keep this desert eagle waiting for evil to come too close to me, so that I can unload and make my evil a ghost to me, or die like a soldier to be a company to my destination. Resting in peace, reunited with the dead homies who died in the street. My neighborhood is just a hood now. We ain't no more neighbors, cause the nigga that stay next door to me be watching my papers. But if it stuck to me in the wrong way, on the wrong day, like the song say, gangsters don't live that long. And from my AK, cause I blast first, and when I blast first, it ain't no need for questions. It'll be all said and done with. No longer to be the present, but the past tense. And you can bet your last cents that if you mess with mine, I leave that ass bent. Gangster or not. But you ain't gotta be no gangster, cause you still gon' die. You don't die young just because you ride young. But you ain't gotta be no gangster, cause you still gon' die. Player, preacher, president, you die when your time comes.
Gangsters don't live that long, believe that. Receive that, best we pack guns and straps that react on fully. We bullies with these, post down to Killer Cali, distribution of keys. Love with thieves, killers, true to life niggas. Know we born dying, ain't no sense of crying. We flying all over till this bitch tick out. Run up in the shake joint and trick bitch out. See I skip this out, know the route you running. Got this funny ass feeling that I'ma die gunning. Ain't no time to the running, if it's coming it's clear. What the fuck is fear? We ain't got that here. I steer a nigga wrong, hope he fall on his face. Come back and blast me, now I'm out this place. It's time we face the truth and all facts, and you ain't gotta be a gangster for that. You know?
But you ain't gotta be no gangster, cause you still gon' die. You don't die young just because you ride young. But you ain't gotta be no gangster, cause you still gon' die. Player, preacher, president, you die when your time comes. You ain't gotta be no gangster, you ain't gotta be no gangster, you ain't gotta be no gangster to die. You ain't gotta be no gangster, you ain't gotta be no gangster, you ain't gotta be no gangster to die. But you ain't gotta be no gangster, cause you still gon' die.